Hi everyone. This week we're looking at the writing process. Basically, there are three steps in writing in the writing process. We have pre-writing, writing the first draft, and revising. This week we are focusing on pre-writing. Pre-writing is a step that happens before you actually start writing your first draft. So there are several pre-writing techniques that you can use. You have five here. So number one is free writing. Number two, questioning. Number three, making a list. Number four, clustering. And number five, preparing a scratch outline. So we're looking at each of these techniques. The first one is free writing. Free writing is a technique whereby you just jot down any rough sentences or phrases that comes to mind. So it's very free writing. It's just writing whatever comes to mind, and you do not think about your spelling, punctuation, grammar, and organization. So this is an example of free writing. What we have here is a topic given on write about the noise or the silence that won't stop. So the writer just write whatever comes to mind. Sentences, phrases, everything is being included. So this is an example of a free writing. So this is a process. Remember, this is a process before you actually write your draft. So it's one of the pre-writing techniques. So the second pre-writing technique is questioning. Questioning is whereby you have questions and then you have answers. So the answers to these questions become the points that you use in your essay. So this is an example of questioning technique whereby you see in the column on the left, you see the questions: why, when, where, who, and how. And you see the answers on the right. So the answers will be used for you to write your essay. In the case of this example, the topic is about going to a movie. So the questions are all related to the topic. Why don't I like to go to the movie? When is going to the movies a problem? So all these questions lead to the answers, which are going to be used in the writing of the essay. So the third technique, which is very common, is making a list. So making a list is a very common pre-writing technique. It's very much a brainstorming step whereby you just list out the ideas or details related to the topic. For example, in this case, the topic is on pollution. So the writer just writes some main points and supporting details related to this point. So what you see here is just merely listing, making a list of what are the points that you want to write. Okay, you don't actually know whether these are topic sentences, these are supporting details. You're not sure yet, you're just listing. And next, the fourth one, clustering. Clustering is a pre-writing technique that involves diagramming and mapping. And I really like this technique. And this is the reason why I want you to use this technique. Particularly when you want to start writing as a pre-writing technique, and for you to teach your students to use this clustering technique before they actually start writing. So what we do in clustering is that we cluster our ideas. All right. For example, the main idea is movie going. So movie going is the title, and you can see the ideas are being connected in the form of a diagram. So from movie going, you will see certain points like noisy people, temptations, too many people. So these are topic sentences, in a way, the main ideas that the writer wants to put forward, and then the other points linked to the main ideas. For example, for temptations, the supporting details are chocolate bars, popcorn. So you can see here, these are the supporting details to the main point, which is temptation. So it's very easy to see the connection of the ideas when you formulate a diagram related to the topic that you want to write on. Okay, so this is the best way to me to organize our thoughts, because when you, for example, when you list ideas, it's not organized yet, but when you do a clustering of ideas, you are already organizing your thoughts or your points. All right. So this is another technique in pre-writing, but this is basically an outline that you write after you have done your free writing or questioning or making a list or diagramming. That means you have to do one of those pre-writing techniques just now before you actually come up with a scratch outline. So for example, I've decided to use diagramming or clustering just now. So I come up with so I have a title and then I've come up with a diagram. So that's my pre-writing technique. And after that, I come up with an outline. An outline is more or less you come up with the structure of your essay before you start writing it. For instance, okay, this is an example of listing, all right, listing, making a list. You see, when you make a list, the points are not organized yet. The points are just merely a list. So you see the numbers given here, 2, 3, 1. This is to show that each line is connected, is being categorized into a group. So for line number 1 is in group is in point 2. For line number 3 and 4, number 2 and 3, they are grouped together as point number 3. While line 4, 5 and 6 are grouped together as for point number 1. And you can see that there are some points being cancelled here because after going through the list, the writer realized that these points, they are not related to what he or she wants to write about. So this is making a list. So what I want to emphasize also here is when you have this clustering, you see, when you have this clustering, it's easier to make sense. You don't have to number 2, 1, 3. You don't have to categorize it later. So you categorize it while you're doing this diagram. Right? You categorize all the points. So after you have done the diagramming, then you come up with the outline. The outline is actually the one that you have done in the previous task, whereby you have a thesis statement, topic sentences, and you have the supporting details. So that's an outline. So okay, let's do some practice questions on pre-writing techniques. So this, as you can see here, this is listing. All right, this is listing. All right, making a list. Here, okay, it's quite clear here. There are two columns. The column on the left, we have a set of questions, and the answers on the right. So this is definitely questioning. This is another example of listing, making a list of points, right? All right, here we have clustering, a diagram whereby you have the points being clustered together in the form of different points and supporting details. All right, and this is definitely free writing, whereby you just write whatever comes to mind. Okay, so I just want to share an outline, okay, an outline that has been done by Nur Azrin binti Muhammad Nur. So this outline is, remember I asked you to find an argumentative essay, and this essay, based on this essay, you extract the thesis statement, topic sentences, and supporting details. So this is an example of an outline which is very organized. All right, so we have the introduction, the opening remarks, and thesis statement. We have the topic sentence and specific evidence. So usually we have 3 or 4 topic sentences, all right, and a conclusion. So what I want you to do is, this is a task that I've given to you. I've asked you to, I want you to choose one of the questions here and write. These are the topics. Choose one topic and then write and prepare 2 things. Number 1, you have to prepare. You have to use one of the pre-writing techniques being exposed to you. So I've already informed you that I want you to do clustering. All right. Why? Because I want you to organize your thoughts. All right, in a proper way, so that it's easier for us to transform it to become an outline. So number 1 is you have to choose a topic. One of the topics is now, and then you have to do you have to use clustering as your pre-writing technique. You can choose any type of diagrams you like. You can go online and look at all the diagrams. There's no wrong diagram, wrong or right diagrams, but it's good to see the connection, right? Like the one that I've shown you earlier. You see the the topic or the title of the essay, and then you see how it is being divided into several main ideas and supporting details. And after you have come up with that diagram, I want you to create an outline using the following structure. Okay, you have thesis introduction, thesis statement, body paragraphs with topic sentences, and the conclusion. All right, so this is the practice that leads to your assignment 1. Okay, all right, that's it. Thank you everyone for listening.